One more hand up? Very good.
You came prepared.
What's that?
You came prepared.
Oh yeah, gotta get my chai. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I need my hot caffeine, especially days that start as early as my Saturdays do. Yeah, looks like one or two more people. I want to tell everybody thank you for coming out to the first of our fall seminar series. We've got a lot of fun things coming up, and I know Saturday mornings are busy times, but we'll try to make it very much worth your while anytime you want to come join us. Next week, I don't know if you listen to, I think, one of the biggest characters on the radio, but Bruce Dooley, who does the environmental show on Saturday afternoons. Bruce will do seminar next Saturday morning, just kind of on green living and all the normal things that Bruce talks about. And we'll have a seminar just on general fall maintenance, on fall bulbs, on annual plants and planting, and just a lot of fun things coming up. So we thank you for coming over and hope you will do it again through the fall season. Today, I'm going to talk about, come on in guys. All right. Going to talk about fall vegetable gardening. It's one of the nice things here. Okay. Anybody needs one of these, they'll be up here. In South Texas, we can literally harvest something pretty much out of the garden almost every day of the year. And it's been a hot, dry summer, but the fun thing is it's cooling off. Maybe one of these days it'll rain a little bit more. And there are a lot of fun things. I know that's a big wish, but they keep getting all the rain east of us and west of us. But how many of y'all grow a fall garden at this point? How many of y'all grow a fall vegetable garden? Okay, very good. You try? Well, the secret in the fall really is timing more than anything else. And the things I'm going to tell you about today are all things that I know will grow very well in this area. And one of the things that I learned early on about fall vegetable gardening is don't listen to anybody else when they tell you something won't grow. I had the experience of an old uncle up at the ranch where I now live who told me for years, he said, don't bother to try to grow broccoli, it simply won't grow up here. And I made the mistake of listening to him for probably a good 10 years, and then I thought, well, I'm going to have to try it. I know he said it won't grow, but I'm going to have to try it. So I planted my first crop of broccoli, and the heads on it were only about this big around and just prettier than anything in the grocery store. And I went to him, his name was Heine, German for Henry, and I said, Heine, why did you tell me that broccoli wouldn't grow here? Look at this broccoli. And he said, well, I don't like broccoli, so I didn't want to growing it. So if somebody tells you something won't grow here, now there's some things that won't. You can't grow rhubarb. There's some other things you can't grow. But don't rule it out until you've tried it. And the funniest thing about that story is he decided he had to try some of my broccoli after he saw how beautiful it was. He found out he liked it after all. So 10 years he was missing out on good broccoli just because he was telling me it wouldn't grow. So there are a lot of things that you can grow and grow extremely well in this area. Now I don't think it's too wise to plant anything you don't like. Another story, somebody was in one day and was telling me about the wonderful radishes that she was harvesting. Just an incredible crop of radishes. And I said, yeah, that's good. And she said, but I hate radishes. And I said, well, why do you grow them? And she said, because they grow so well and they produce so much. Thinking, yeah, there's something here that, just doesn't quite make sense. But anyway, if you pay attention, to the timing, you can grow a lot of things. The things that I consider probably easiest to grow and the things that are among the most popular in my garden are, of course, broccoli and cauliflower. Grow just like weeds almost. Garlic. Anybody likes garlic? Don't pay $4 a head for the garlic in the grocery store. You can grow wonderful garlic in this area if you time it right. Onions. I mean, onions, you can buy good onions in the grocery store, but you can grow better onions. But the secret is how to grow them. Onion sets don't work. Onion plants do work. Onion seed, mediocre success. So we'll talk about onions. Snow peas, those $5 a pound little marbles that you see in the grocery store, those things grow like weeds if you plant them properly and do a few things. So, I'm going to talk about quite a number of different things, but the only problem that I think most people have with the fall vegetable garden is the same thing they do with the spring vegetable garden. It's just not ever big enough. So, good excuse to kill more grass, increase the size of your garden, and grow more good, fun things. But the beginning part, or the beginning point for any vegetable gardening, of course, is to have good soil. And you simply can't over-prepare your soil. Now, I'm not big on tilling soil. I mean, I've got one of those $800 Troy-Bilt tillers, and it hadn't been out of the shed in about 7 or 8 years now, because I learned all the benefits of no-till gardening. If you till your soil, you're breaking it up, you're constantly turning it over, you're bringing all the organic material up on the surface where it oxidizes and goes away, and you're breaking up a lot of beneficial fungi. Now, bacteria, yeah, you're not going to hurt bacteria by tilling because they are such tiny little things. But when you turn the soil and you see those big strands of white material running back and forth through it, when you turn your compost pile and you see all that thread-like white material in there, that is beneficial fungus growing. And there are many, many different kinds of beneficial fungi. And the fungi tend to be much, much larger than bacteria by, a million times as big. And when you turn the soil, or actually for that matter, if you turn your compost pile too often, you're breaking up those fungal strands and you're reducing the quality of what you have. So maybe when you first start a garden, maybe the soil is so hard packed you feel like you have to break it up. But in general, once you get that garden started, put the tiller away. If you're adding adequate organic material, the soil is going to stay soft and loose, and you'll never have to till it again. If you're putting compost on the surface, it will naturally soften the soil underneath it. You just simply don't have to go to the work of tilling. The other thing that tilling will do for you is if you want to find out all the different kinds of weeds that can possibly grow in your garden, just till the soil. I mean, they found, in the pyramids, come on in guys, in the pyramids in Egypt, they found seeds that were 3,000 and 4,000 years old that were still viable. Wheat seeds remain viable for a very long time. But if they're down in the soil where they don't get sunlight, they don't sprout and grow. Till that soil. Bring them all up to the surface and see what all... it's all the silly things I hear. People till the soil, they throw some compost on top of it, and the weeds grow. And they say, that compost was full of weeds. No, it wasn't. You tilled the soil, you brought all the weeds up to the surface. Or maybe you just put the compost on the surface, and it started breaking down the seed coat on the weed seeds so that things could sprout and grow better. Anyway, tillage, forget about it unless you're breaking the soil for the first time, and even then, I really don't think it's necessary. The thing that softens soil is microbial activity. The bacteria especially work to break up a tight, hard soil. The best example I can give you of that is several years ago I was going to plant some fruit trees in my garden. This was about September or so, and I mean the soil was so dry and hard you could barely break it with a digging bar. The soil was just incredibly, you'd hit it like that. You know those old cartoons where the guy hits somebody and you see the vibration, start up his arm and eventually shakes his whole body? That's the way I felt. I'd hit that soil with a digging bar and you could just feel the vibration come up the bar. What I did is got a load of good compost, and everywhere I was going to plant a tree, I dumped like 3 wheelbarrows on the ground. I ended up with a pile of compost about like that, hollowed it out, and maybe once or twice over the fall months I went back and filled that with water. But it was a dry fall. We did not get a lot of rain. January, the fruit trees came in. I went out to dig the holes, and literally you could have dug that soil with a spoon. The soil was so soft underneath it. That was because of the good microbial activity, especially the good bacterial activity I had. So the secret to having soft, healthy soil is in the life that is in the soil. To maintain that life, the number one thing you do is don't kill it off. Don't kill it off with chemical fertilizers. Don't kill it off with fungicides and things. You just don't need those things. Chemical fertilizers destroy the soil in a lot of ways. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But chemical fertilizers are really hard on the bacterial and fungal life in the soil. And chemical fertilizers will literally make your ground harder instead of softer, so you don't need that. What you should do in starting out, and I mean, here I'm going to tell you about some things that you can plant today, but I also want to emphasize the things that it's a little bit too early to plant. And I think the best thing you do when you plant a garden, fall or spring garden, is start a little bit in advance. Put some fertilizer down, put some compost down, and give that soil a little time